Hello everyone. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome back to another stream. A Tuesday and pretty late. It's already 11:20. I started late because I was still thinking of what I should be doing. I had a couple of other works to take care of. And yeah, basically that is when it got late. But yeah, I thought I'll quickly do a very short chill stream. Um, let's actually look into what I was thinking of working on today. So there's this website called devchallenges.io. I came across it quite a while back, but I never really did anything from here. And it's a pretty cool link, so do give it a check out. And I'm using a free version, but I guess you can upgrade to Pro, and it has some good features. I wonder what that is. Okay, and one of the challenges there is you can find the challenge link in the description right here. Yeah, you can find the challenge link here. It's a simple image uploader. Okay, and let's go through the problem and try and figure out what exactly is it required, and today at least try to get a little bit work done, and I'll come to the point where why I'm doing this challenge. Okay, so in a full stack development, a common task involved working with files. This challenge represents an opportunity to create a straightforward image upload application. Okay. It's a very straightforward image upload application, enabling users to upload images. So the problem statement here is very straightforward. You have an application and you have a drag and drop or browse files, and then you can upload a particular file. Sorry, you can upload a particular file. And once you upload a particular file, what you can do is you can do a share. So I'll come to that. By completing blah blah blah. Yeah, so here are the more important things. Requirements. You should create a web page that includes the following. Create a simple design. Users can upload an image at a time. This file should be JPEG, PNG, GIF. Maximum size is 2 MB. Users can drag and drop the file and upload it. Users can browse files and select a file to upload. Users can browse file and select a file to upload. When the image is uploading, users can see a loader. Okay. When the image is successfully uploaded, users can see the image. The image is uploaded, users can copy its address by selecting the share button. And after the image is uploaded, users can download the share by the download button. I mean, I'm not very sure why this is like a thing, because after the image is uploaded, users can copy its address by selecting share. And the image is uploaded. After the image is uploaded, users can download the image by selecting the download button. This is a very weird thing. I uploaded the photo, so why do I need to download it, right? So, but yeah, I'm gonna take some decisions here because, again, like, I'm not very sure. I am assuming it would make sense to say that when a user particularly uploads a file, and if you share it, the person who sees that file should have a download option. It should have a download option. I'm assuming this is where it came through, but then again, not quite sure. Okay. Optional users can change the theme between dark and light mode, so you can just toggle through and then deploy the solution and submit the repository while written demo. They also have, I think, some sort of it's not automated tests, but I think there is a little bit of design comparison and all of that. But for looking through your things, I think like how your code is, if you actually worked with the challenge or not. Hey Cheryl, hello, what's up? How's it going with you? Hi. Okay. So, and now, I'm guessing that, once you actually do draw, like somebody that particular URL, if you share the URL, they would see the download button. That is what I would assume. But here I would show the designs, and you can see the share and the download button are the same. So yeah, whatever. Optionally, users can change the theme and all. We already discussed that. Coming to the point of view of technical things, so front end is of course React for file upload. This is something new to me, React drop zone. Then the state managers using use state and use effect, of course. How else we can do that? For styling, CSS in libraries like style components, Tailwind or traditional CSS for styling. I'm gonna go with traditional CSS for styling in this particular case. Only problem here is that if I would have done with Tailwind, I could have easily done things like, okay, responsive and all that, but that is something I want to learn more about, how to do your media point cuts, or I don't know what it's called. Point cuts is just something which came to my mind. But yeah, that is something, let me see. And for the backend, use Nodejs with Express. This is also something I have never done. I mean, I have explored, I have read a couple of code here and there about using Node, but I have never myself used Node.js for any production grade or even for any recreational programming. But this looks like a good opportunity to explore Node.js and Express. I'm gonna go with JavaScript for now, and maybe later on we can upgrade it to TypeScript and see that how exactly we can, have both of these things together working. Okay, cool. Other than that, you have file validation. Validate the file type and size on the server side before saving. Yes, we are always going to do that. Then you have API endpoints. API endpoints are API upload to upload the image, API download to download the image with the file name. Okay. And then front end, you deploy it on React app on Netlify or Vercel. I'm not going to do that. And backend is Node.js on Heroku and AWS or Vercel. Heroku is, I think, no more in use now, something like that. But yeah, I'll come to what I choose. Coming to the point of why this project, I feel it's a very chill thing for me to actually learn React a little bit more, explore this library React drop zone, and learn a bit of more CSS where I know responsive design. Explore Node.js, of course, come across Express, and for the blob store I'm going to use Azure. And what I'm going to do is, after using Azure, I am gonna at least learn how to whatever that is Azure SDK is for Node.js. Okay. File validations is pretty simple. APIs and stuff like that are very simple. Deployment, I am most likely gonna use Azure itself. So I'm gonna use Azure. I think it's Static, it's called, and Azure Compute. I don't remember the service names. I'm gonna use those for deployment. Okay, or maybe I have a single server and only the front end is publicly available and the back end is not. But I don't know how good of an idea that is. So again, still not decided, but we'll think through. Okay. And then you have sort of how a real world project works through. More bureaucratic stuff where you have user stories. Create a simple image and all of that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Same thing above, just with the option. That's all. So what we can do now is, I forgot where you click. Okay, so I think continue challenge. So if you click on continue challenge, here what you would see is the pages that you're supposed to implement. Okay, so this is for desktop. Here you can see 1280, 1024, then you have 640. I don't know if 640 is for mobile, or yeah, it must be. And this is for tablet. And for 1024 is for tablet. I thought that's desktop, but anyways. So it's a very simple straight up application where you have a header, you have toggle state for your theme, and then you have some sort of a drop zone where you can drop a file, and that's pretty much it. So when you drop a file, so this is where you have a loader. And in here, this is what happens when you actually upload the file. So you have a preview. Once you upload the file, you have a preview. You have a share and you have a download. that is sus. I am gonna be honest, because I'm not very sure what you're gonna do with the download. I uploaded the image, right? And how is the view gonna be if I take the share option and I click on it? Okay, I click on it. Not sure. So I'm gonna make some decisions there. Okay, I'm gonna make some decisions. Okay. Yeah, so then you have some guides about like spacings and all. That is again pro. But we can quickly go through the dark mode. We can again go through a dark mode where you have the same kind of designs, a little bit different. Okay. So in here, if you look at this, you have same kind of descriptions here. When somebody in the solution light mode should be default. Okay. Yeah, again bureaucratic user stories like I mentioned, and then you have downloads. So you can download some starter packs, and if you have the pro, you can actually download your Figma designs and all. This is grid. I don't really understand how to use this part, so you can give it some pixels, and depending on that, your grid size would change and all that. I guess you can figure out the sizing and all of that. I'm guessing so. Okay. This is more important, the typography. So what is what? So usually we have used inter. Okay. So we have to bring that in. You have sorry, you have colors, which is okay. So again, it becomes a little bit more easier for us. And then you have the content, like basically what to load, right? And if you download, so I did download this thing. So if you download, you have a thumbnail and all of that, but the main important thing is resources. So you have all the SVGs that you require. Okay, sun, moon, blah blah blah, whatever. Even the logo. Okay, even the logo. I don't know why you need the logo SVG small. Not quite sure. Okay. Why do you need that? Question is, why do you need that? Quickly wanna go over the designs and remove the grid completely. So if I go over the designs, here what I can see is that yeah, I'm not sure. I don't see anywhere where you use a small logo, so I'm guessing it has to be the fabric, and that's all. I'm guessing so. Okay. Okay. Cool. I think we can get started. We can think in terms of how we're gonna do that. Usually, I could have taken a simple front-end application and work with it, but here the requirement is this thing, so I'm gonna go with that. And second of all, I've already fed this information to ChatGPT here. So yeah, I've already fed this information to ChatGPT so that it has the files that I need. So if I try to ask it to generate correct things, it would just copy paste and use the correct names now. So let's move forward and see exactly how it's gonna go and how much we can get done tonight. Okay. Okay, cool. Any questions, anyone till now? Okay. Meanwhile, take a quick break. Cool. I think we can get started. All right. We can get started. And sorry for that. The first thing I'm gonna work on is trying to break this down into components. Okay, trying to break this down into components. So usually header is one single component, right? Usually header is one single component. Then you have like the header on the left, and then you can have the toggle button on the right. And for the image, what I'm thinking, so again, I have to make some decisions here. So for the image, what I'm thinking is we're going to work with pre-signed URLs. Okay, we're going to work with pre-signed URLs, which will have a max life. Okay. So what can happen here is that I'm going to share the URL with somebody. And if you go to that particular URL, it's a direct access to that particular image and you can download the file. Okay. So let me see if we can open this. Yeah. So you can have, do we have, why am I writing React? So you can have a client here, right? You have your client here. Okay. And then you can have your server. And just go process. Yeah, okay. So this is your backend application. Right. And then you can have a blob store. Your blob is what I'm thinking. Have anything related? Okay. This is Azure, yeah. So what happens now is that we can actually connect it like this, I suppose. Why can't I not connect? The UML, I should be having arrows and a flow chart. Somewhere I should be. Okay, I have arrows here. So this is when you are on image upload, and you do an upload this thing here. Hold on a second. I quickly want to see one thing here. I think I missed something. Content, where is, okay. Yeah. So you have a download API also. Okay. We have to think it in a different way, because I was thinking we can directly give the pre-signed URL and you just download it, but it's not that simple, right? It's not that simple here. What I think I'm gonna do here is that I'm still not sure how to do this. Not sure how to do this part, because if I give you, like, how do I come to this download page? Oh, I mean, yeah, it's simple, because your download is not for the end user. Your download is for you itself for some reason, right? So let's think in terms that this is gonna be an upload. So when you do an upload along with the file, it sends to the backend. It processes, it does whatever check it does, and it simply pushes your code to the front to the blob store. Okay, so upload to the backend. I mean bucket, a container. We call it container. I'm just gonna call it container for Azure. Okay? I'm not using S3 because it's just costly, I feel, and if you forget something anywhere, it's gonna mess up your bank account. Cat is meowing a lot. Okay. Okay, cool. Back to the problem. So now in here, once you have this, what is gonna happen is that I'm gonna generate a pre-signed URL. Okay. So can find URL for the response. Okay. And we're gonna return this back. Why can't you just work? Or not just arrows going? Not sure. Anyways, so pre-signed URL. Okay. So we are gonna give you back a pre-signed URL. So we are gonna give you back a pre-signed URL. Okay. And because of the requirement, if you say download, we are again gonna do a download here. Okay. We're again gonna do a download here. Okay. And this is basically gonna give you back this is basically gonna give you back the library. I mean, whatever, right? And you're gonna return it, and your browser will download it. This is basically it. But when you do a share, what we are gonna do is we are gonna give you back the pre-signed URL. Okay, we are gonna give you back the pre-signed URL. We're gonna give you back a pre-signed URL, and when another user with that URL has your pre-signed URL, right, and comes to us, it basically can directly download stuff from download the image with the file. So we could have easily made the bucket public, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. This download could have easily been the same thing, but since they explicitly asked for a download API, we're going to do it. Okay, we're going to do it. But because it doesn't explicitly mention about how the clients are going to work and how the client view is going to be, I'm going to take a decision saying that, oh, okay, when the client, if I say share, it's going to give me the pre-signed URL, and I'm going to share that with the users. Okay, and that basically is going to help you download the image. Okay, this is how I think I'm going to do it. Okay, this is how I think I'm going to do it. Cool. Gotta learn a couple of things here. Yeah, I mean, we can at least start and think through. So I'm thinking let's actually get the backend and the front end, backend and the Azure stack up and running first. That seems like a very easy thing, in my opinion. Okay, so like every other thing, let's quickly go ahead and did I create anything? No. So image. Okay. What I'm gonna quickly do here is that I'm gonna move this image upload thing. Okay. What is thumbnail? Yeah, we don't need this. What is index.html? Simple image uploader. So let's look at what it. I think I can simply open it, right? Yeah, this is also not helpful. There's a readme template. Okay, start visiting, blah 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 blah. This is also not really helpful. But if I look at the readme template in here, please update the value here. Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. I get it. So, okay. Okay, this seems like a fairly good thing here. So I can yeah, I can use this, I guess. So I want to keep this. Go to resources. We definitely need this stuff. We also have a fab icon. So I don't know why it's actually, saying that it needs. Okay. Anyways, so I'm not sure if we need the draw IO stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this guy, and yeah, I mean we already decided. I shouldn't have done that as I can always refer to that diagram, say, but it's a very simple diagram, honestly. Okay, cool. So I think what I am going to do is that first of all I'm gonna start working on setting up. Okay, cool. Nothing is there. I'm gonna start working on setting up the blob store first. Sorry, the blob store first. Okay. So for this, I'm gonna use something called Azure, right? Azure, right? GitHub. Yeah. So Azure, right, is basically not a mirror, but a clone of Azure Blob Store. So it gives you three things, I believe. It gives you Azure Blob Store, Azure Queue Service. There's one more which I don't remember, but yeah, you can actually check. Okay, so it's also distributed as Nugget package. Of course, it's Microsoft. Why won't they do something stupid? Oh, it's a blob store, queue, and table. Yeah, so you can have three of these things. Sorry, you can have three of these things. And I already have I fairly use this, and you know, your accounts and all that would generally be account key, default storage account. Yeah, so here you can have the account key and the dev store account name and all of that, so that's fine. So in one of the projects I use this, and I'm just, I don't know what was gonna open, thank God. Okay. Why is this thing not coming up? Droplet. So in here there should be an YAML. Okay, cool. I have something called GitHub user info.json. Oh, okay, yeah. This is just for my reference. Okay. So yeah, this is where how I can do Azure, right? And I'm gonna exactly do that. Okay. So I guess let's get started with this. Okay, stack.yaml version is, yeah, I cannot type 0.9. I cannot type that. Copilot, shut up. Okay. So you have services, Azure, right? And in here, I believe, don't copy paste these stuff in here. So this is this. Container name. So let's call it image upload Azure, right? Okay, next thing you want to restart all this. Ports are 10,000, and yeah, one. I believe that's it, right? Yeah. Also have to run a command. This is to expose your blob store. If you want to expose some other things, so as an example, the queue store and all, you have to wait. Yeah, so you have to define them accordingly. So maybe queue host. Yeah. So yeah, you can do the queue host and all that. So we're not gonna do that right now. Good. The next thing that we want to do is what? Volumes. Now this is interesting. So what we're going to do is we're gonna say not droplet, my bad. Image upload Azure, right, is basically gonna be mapped data. Was that it? Yeah. So volumes. Okay, that is pretty much it. And we can look that if we can actually start working on your this thing, get the container. Docker yes, Docker compose up stack because I'm in the wrong place. Sorry. Oh, I actually created everything in the wrong place. Okay, but that's fine. So whatever we have in here, can I move like this? Yeah, so this guy. Yeah, so Docker compose up stack. What did I call it? Stack.yaml. Why can't it? Okay. Docker compose up. Doesn't autocomplete for me. Sorry. Stack.yaml. Uh-huh. That is fascinating that it did something like that. Builds recreates a container attaches unless they're yeah, but I'm running the command. Why are you giving me help? Did I mess up something? No, right? I don't feel so. Not quite even sure why this is not working out. Okay. Okay, let's just see why this is not working out. I messed up something, I feel so. How's the stream health going? The stream health is going good, okay. So I'm not quite sure what I messed up. Docker compose. Because first you man, I'm dumb. Okay. Then this is this. Okay. Then this is this. Volume must be a mapping, not a string. Frame stack. Volume must be a mapping, not a string. Did I mess up something? Volumes. I mean, I have to not look there, I have to look here. Sorry. I know. Because it's a key. That's why it actually. Yeah. It did not that change. Why are you being a pain in the ass? Okay. I thought my tab stop is 1, 2. I thought my tab stop is 2. Why is it being a pain? Set tab stop. Oh. One quick thing I want to see here is vim.rc. No, I do nvim actually. So vim. Where on earth is it? Config. Nvim and vim, yeah. Tab stop. Yeah. Not sure. Anyways. Is invalid because supported option supported option contains unsupported option. Yes. Okay. Finally, sorry for that. Finally we have it. Cool. What I'm quickly gonna do is a file. So I'm gonna do a setup. I want to paste this, and for down, I'm gonna say Docker compose f stack sorry, YAML down, and I think somewhere docker compose hyphen option. This is not what I am talking about. Okay, we can quickly check docker compose. Up help. That's so. Yes. Okay, so it's a capital V. We have also something for down. Aha. Okay. So yeah. So otherwise, your volumes might be stuck, and it kind of makes a giant pain in the ass. But we also need to say for is set up and down. Okay. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have this up and running. I have installed this Azure plugin, and you don't have to do anything. You can just go to workspace and it will automatically figure out that you have a local emulator running. And as you can see, there's blob container queues and tables. Sorry, blob container queues and tables. Okay, that's pretty much it. Okay. So this is where first thing I want to do is, you know what, I might even go a step more and actually learn Terraform. I think it's a good opportunity to learn Terraform to do a very simple thing. It's an overkill, but again, we are learning some stuff here. Don't care much about why and how to use it. If you want to learn something, we include that. Simple as that. Okay, cool. Okay, I guess we can close this. Now is the time to figure out that we have Node and all that installed. So we have 24. How do you exit this? Like this? Exit. Control C again. Okay. Node install latest. npm install latest. Is that how we do it? ls remote. Okay. nvm install v2450. Can I just do default? Default v2450. How do I do default? I know I can say use, but it's only for the sessions shell, or is it like for... Okay. So what if I just close this and come? Aha, it doesn't change the config, which is weird, which is kind of weird. Not quite sure why it doesn't change the configuration. nvm, well, when is this guy gonna be used? nvm set of version default for all sections. Can you just say what? Why will we do alias? To set a specific default for all sessions using nvm, you can run the following blah blah blah. It's an ass. Okay, let's look at it. Alias. Okay, so it was asking for alias. After installing, set the alias to certain as an lvm something, nvm something something. After installing, set default. Aha, we can do this. Fuck. install what. Now will it do the thing? npm uninstall 2450. Do that. Now if I say install default, okay. Now will it still work now correctly? Awesome. And pm self update. We're gonna use pm. Okay, it's already latest and doesn't need an update. Cool, pretty cool. Okay, we are quickly gonna go over and start with it. Okay, so the question here is that how do you start a project in Node.js? Okay, let's Google it up. Express create and setup with Vite. Vite Express. Start by creating a Vite project. Follow the blah blah blah. Shut up. Okay. Wait a second. You're telling me create Vite latest. Setting up an Express backend with a Vite frontend involves creating separate environments for each and then connecting them. The Vite Express package simplifies integration. What? I'm really sorry. So sorry. Okay, but my point is, you have fetch Axios. What is this Vite Express handles serving your application in development when you're building it for production? I do not want that. I simply want to create a backend. I want to create a frontend, and I want to call it. It's as simple as that. Why do I have to go through this bullshit? Why do web keep on just making stupid stuff up? I don't know. Okay, setting up an Express TypeScript server. View. Okay. Okay, venturing into backend can feel like, I got it. So what it's trying to say is that, hey, the backend is Express. I am guessing Express is not just a framework. It comes with a server. I'm guessing so. Let's actually look into it. Okay. Dev GitHub React image. So backend. Sorry for that. Take a quick break. Yeah. What we're gonna do now is where is my stuff renewed? I can simply init. I didn't want to do that. I suppose you have to why. I can always do npm init, right? Okay, the package name is image upload backend. Version is this backend for image upload. Entry point https github.com/image upload. Keywords. Holy shit. Node.js, Express, JavaScript. I don't know. Me. I want to go with this. Type. I'm not gonna go with common.js. I'm gonna go with m.js. I think it's called module.js or something. But for now, I'm gonna just say okay. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is npm install Express, and that I feel should be okay. It's already 4 MB, but I guess it did something. So let's look at .bin. Wait. Oh, it doesn't have anything executable. It's just straight up just this. Okay. Okay. So you have Express.js. So you have body parts and all of that blah 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 bullshit. Okay. And in here you have some sort of create application and app.init, expose the response, expose the prototypes. Okay. And you also have some sort of middleware. We do need middleware. At some point. Application.js. What on earth is this? Slice is okay. So these are aliasing and all that. Give me something good. Okay, so you have app.init is function in it. So whenever you call app.init, it could be. So you say router null, setup getting to lazy add the base router, define blah blah blah. Okay, this is some heavy ass JavaScript stuff. Tag weak, environment. Okay, plus proxy and all of that. Okay, I guess instead of that, what I'm simply gonna do is index.js, maybe something like app.js, server.js, and I don't remember how to do it. So I believe const express equals require express. Can I just build that? Okay, it didn't complain. Sadly, I don't have tmux installed right now. Okay. Next thing I want to show is const app is express.app. Is that what you do? Okay, it didn't work. So one thing we can do to explore this is console log express. Okay, now we have a lot of stuff. What all do we have? So we have application, we have init and all of that blah blah blah. So you also have a router. Yeah, you have a couple of things here. Okay, couple of things here. The question here is, how exactly do I start this, right? So you have a request, I have an application, it says init. Okay, it's a function, it's supposed. Okay. Nodejs, simple example of a route. Wait, Express tutorial is named. Okay, I didn't know that. Holy shit. What is the Express development environment? What operating system? Okay. So you have the routes, which basically comes here. Then you have the controller, which has the views. Okay. Just can you give me this? Okay, so you get the router. You get the router. Okay. And just call the function. Okay. You get the router and you call the function. And it returns you back with a router on which you can call certain functions. So what if I say express dot router. Yeah, okay. So it gives you back function, which is this, but I called the function. Yeah, I mean that is correct. So can I express equals required? Will it pick it up? Is the question. Awesome. Okay, I can explore here, I guess. Express.router is a function, okay? And if I call the function, it returns back a router function. Okay. And what is router? Router has something very confused on how things are showcased here. They have params and all that. So I suppose I can say this and request response so log request. You can say it this way, I suppose. Okay. So this get thing is basically a property. It acts as an object and it's adding on to it. Handle keys, name is handled somehow. Okay. You might have a matchup. So we can simply say router dot stack of 0 dot matches. What if I say this? It's not a function, it's something else. It's an array. Okay. Oh, okay, it's an array. So if I destructure it, you have this. Const match is equal to this. So what if I just call this guy? This says false. So if I say this, it says path params. If I say this, it says okay. So if it doesn't pass, if it doesn't match, it says false. If it matches, it gives you back with this object. This is the path and these are params. Hello equals world. That is sus. Okay, we can do one more thing. We can say this is the second one. Two. This is 1. Okay. Match 2 is not a function because this is 1. Sorry, this is 1. Okay. So there's a matcher here. There's also a match somehow it shows. Matches. So const match. So m of this. What did I do back then which actually worked? Aha. Because it's an array. So let's just say this. M1 is not a function. This is also here. Let already defined. So let's call it A for now. Call it A for now. Okay. And what we can see here is that, so if I pass in anything, ooh, it's gonna say false because the path didn't match. But here, if I say hello, it matches, and there's no parameters here that we passed. Foo, full spot. Sorry, this still fails. That is sus. That is sus. Okay, that is very weird. So how do I match? How do I match with something? How do I? Okay. Okay. Okay, but I think we can get started at least, right? So let's fire up the IDE. We can at least get started. Just here's an old project. Close this and open. Why do we still have this? Yeah, cool. So we can just go to the backend and open it. Okay. So you have server.js and Node.js is required. We have Node. If you only knew where to. PNPM is not found. Which PNPM? It is found. Shut up. Okay, apply. Okay, now you can shut up. What is saying? Create function. This, I don't know what you're complaining about. So usually what they're saying is const router equal to this. Okay, and router dot get in here request response. My question here is, okay, so let's not do it right away. So how do I say response dot JSON? Is that what you're saying? Welcome to the API success. And how do I set up the status? Response dot status equals 200. Is that how you do that? I'm guessing so. I'm guessing so. Okay. I'm still guessing so that's how you do it. Okay. So I believe there's something called nodemon, which is a watcher, something like that. But let's see if I do want to set up nodemon or not. Not quite sure if I do want to set up nodemon. Oh, look at that, it's already 12. I don't have much time, but let's quickly at least get the basic setup done and say, okay, an API is running, right? Tomorrow we'll power through it. Why is it complaining? What is it complaining about? It's not a function. Yeah, so how is it not a function? What are you saying? What are you saying? Shut up. Okay, so did I delete every one of my collection? Suppose I did. Okay, anyways, so we can quickly create a collection in here. And why can't you create a collection? Are you kidding me right now? Node. Server.js, my bad. Backend node server.js. It didn't say anything. So do I need to run it? Response.send module.exports this thing. Why do I need to do that? To use a router module in a main application, we first need to require this, and we need to say app. What is app? You never literally mention what is app. Skeleton website. Is that where you're coming from? Express generator, dude. Why is it? Okay, I'm gonna show you how simple it is. Next, what? That should be that simple. It shouldn't be like you have a generator to create a. Okay. Wait, this is okay. You went one step. Dude, just tell me. Okay, where did you get? Okay, yes, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so you call the function. This itself is exported as function. So you call the function itself. Sorry, and you say use /API/index. Yes, this is how you listen to the server. Okay. What is this? What is an index route? Okay, so you're defining all these things in index route. And I'm guessing this is a context. Your index route file has okay. Is okay, I get it. You're setting up a context which you don't need. Good. Okay, that is what you have to tell me. Nothing else. So const app, let's call it server, is express question here is, does it take anything? Doesn't take any parameter. Okay. And server dot use. What if I say just server dot listen and it's empty. Okay, so we can go with this and we can say okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, now the big question here is localhost 3000. What was the API that we did? We just did that. Cannot get. Okay, what you can't get? It's also trying to look up the of course because 127 not found. Okay, that is fair because we did not actually do server dot use. If you give it nothing, can you shut up? I just shut it up somehow. Disable completions. Okay, so what about now? Okay, so okay, cool. I think now we talk. So by default it gives some etags, even though I feel etags is only for files. Is it? I don't know if people use it for API versioning, but we actually saw that they're generating etags, right? So it's nothing special out here. Cool. I think we created the first thing. We at least know how we are gonna do the APIs. We can quickly code it up, and this is where we can actually start thinking about how we are gonna, generate our structure, right? How we're gonna generate our structure. We can keep that running. I wonder what is this used for? Can it do a live reload? What is Nodemon used for? Nodemon is a tool that develops Node.js by automatically restarting the server. Nodemon doesn't require any additional changes. To use Nodemon, replace the word node on. Okay, we are going to do that then. npm add save dev Nodemon uh, nodemon server.js. Eh? I guess we have to do bin node modules uh, dot bin, then nodemon, then server.js. Okay, cool. Cool. And what if I make a change? What is it saying? Assigned number is not assigned to type. What is the type that you're expecting here? You are expecting a number. You are expecting a number, right? Response.send. It's looking at a... Okay, so maybe you have to do send status. But anyways, what if I do this as 500? First question, does it actually restart the server? We don't know. Server started restarting to be changed. Awesome. That is something we can live with. And it gave a 200 okay. Give a 200 okay and not a 500. So we need to first figure out how to do response status codes. We need to do how to do response status code. Okay, where are you? Is did nothing ship about the code. How do we return back proper status? Okay, so you chain up things. Okay, so this right here is a function. Aha, I'm a dumb guy. It's a function. Sorry. And then you can easily chain through. Is there anything else that you can chain through? So you can chain headers. You can chain headers. Okay. So it's already saying access control and all of that, and we would need some sort of middleware somewhere later on. But now, the real question is, does it work or does it loly-poly? It doesn't work. Where are you? And it works. Awesome. I think this is quite good, and we can start working off here. Okay. So, dev GitHub React image. Okay. Dev GitHub image React, and here what do I want to do? Here I want to go site back and the first thing that I want to do here is okay, so this is server.js. Let's just keep it like that. I can simply create routes. Okay. And later on, maybe I can create a service layer. Okay. Inside routes, I mean, do we really need to complicate it? We have a single route. We have two routes. I don't see why we need to complicate. Okay. Let's just say it's source. cd source move server. Again, I am really not in the mood, so I'm not even delete. Okay, cool. So we have server. I am just gonna say routes.js, and that's pretty much it. Nothing else. So in routes.js, I'm gonna say express is this. Const route is express.router. Okay. Then what do I say? So let's call it router. Router.get What was the API? We have upload and download. Upload, you have the request, you have the response. And one more question I want to ask here is, can I do this? Can I do this? Response dot render. Okay, so you can do some templating stuff. Okay, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna say status. I'm gonna explicitly say 200, and I'm gonna say JSON, and file name is hello. I'm just gonna say that. Okay, I'm just gonna say it right here, and nothing else. In here we can delete all this stuff. Okay, we can delete all this stuff. Server is this, and in here this sorry, what we want here is, can you do that? Okay, so I guess we have to export this somehow. So export dot modules or something. Is that how you do it? I remember if I go to Nodejs, this thing, and do I have a grep? No, I don't have. So let's do a grep. Exports dot module. Shit. Okay, so you can go to Express, go to lib, and then can I grep exports module dot exports is router. Can I now simply say const router is wire sorry, route? Can I do that? Okay, we can. We can. Okay. This is this. Then you say, okay, you use it in this way. And here we can simply say const port is process environment port. Yeah, that's pretty cool, because now I can start working with .NET. So I'm gonna keep that for now. Okay, I'm gonna keep it for now. And in here, I'm just gonna say port, and in here I'm gonna say port. Can you change it for me? Awesome, change it for me. Look at that beauty. Yeah, this sounds pretty cool. And so server. Question here is, do we have any locker? I don't know how to check if we have, like, how to check through the entire standard library and all that. But the moment of truth is here, where I can simply go here and restart it. So this is gonna say 404. Cool. But if I say API, it's gonna say a 404. But now if I say upload, 2.1 created. Awesome. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of it. So you basically have a router. So it's basically how Go works, right? You have a router, and you generally create a server, and you give the server that particular router, or I think it's called Mux. You give it that, and then you start it off, right? It's very, very simple in that way. And this is also very similar how you do things, right? Okay. Okay, cool. We did that. I think we achieved a little bit of it. The question here is, did Postman start working? Okay, Postman started working. I'm gonna do this and delete this guy, and I'm gonna say the name of this is image upload. Oh, sorry. Maybe the request here is HTTP localhost 3000 API upload. Send it. Get this thing back, which is awesome. Now I do want to send a file. Okay, now I do want to send a file. Okay, upload a file, upload a valid file. That is important, right? So usually when you do this, it's form data. It's a form data, right? Question is, how do I access a form data? Right? Question is, how do I access a form data? So let's look at console log, the request itself. Okay, now in here, so we can say this is file and this is a file and a new file from local machine. What I can do is, where on earth did you go? Where on earth did you simply go? So let's try and upload a file like this, because I'm an idiot. Okay, anyways, so let's go home. Dev, you have github.com, this thing in here. Where do I have image upload? You have certain files here, right? So you have a resource and you just go and it's not working directory and it will be unable for your team most. Yeah, shut up, man. Can shut up. So what if I send here? It doesn't send me back anything, I assume, because I didn't do a response dot. So usually for every one of them, you do have to do some kind of a response dot something for it to flush. Okay, but here is what we got back. Holy shit, we got back a huge stuff. So I want to say that. So pnpx, is that what you do? Yeah. Okay. So here what I'm going to do here is that not that. Here what I am going to do is what was I thinking? I was thinking of something and I completely forgot. Anyways, I'm just going to send a request now. Oh, I know what I was going to do. So I'm going to cancel. So in here, I'm going to say response.send status 200 send request. So whatever you send, I'm just going to send it back. I think that's a fair thing to do. And this becomes simple. Okay, type error, converting circular structure to JSON. Not possible. Okay, whatever. But can you at least give me the logs? You at least gave me the logs. That is good. Holy shit, it's a huge stuff in here. Really? It's this huge just for okay. Question here is file. You don't have anything called file. Do we have something called body? Okay, you have a couple of bodies like that. And I think the way to do that would be something like this. Yeah, has body. It's only has body. Immediately crash, server will not be restarted. Okay, no one cares. No one cares. Okay. CPU is only 22%. Wow, I think I can do some more heavy load stuff in here. I feel so. But anyways, okay. So what we can do right now is let's quickly go back and dude, my cat just shed this shit out of me. Just shed this shit out of me, man. Came out of nowhere. Gives no fuck about it. Here what I'm thinking now is let's just inspect body. I have a thing that it's not gonna work. Okay, so this doesn't work. Good. Keeps on calling out, man. Dude. This guy keeps on calling out. Yeah. Okay. But anyways, cool. Let's try and go here and let's do a test. Okay, this didn't work, but do you it's undefined? Definitely it's not form. I believe how you sent it is via query patterns. So I'm just gonna say this for now. Okay, and I'm just gonna rehit it. This is also empty. This is also empty. The question is, how do you send the form? How do you read the form? So let's quickly look at it. Okay, what all things are there? Base URL, cache clone, cookies, credentials, blah blah blah. Things like that. Do we have to do params? I suppose so. That is not something we have to do. Okay. So params is this. This query. Do we have something called headers? Can I not just? I don't want to do that. Okay. Body. This body tells you have minor front up. You have something called an app. You have this. You have that. Host name, IP. Ooh. Okay. URL, XHR, blah blah blah. Multi-part form data. Okay. Yes. You have a multer. Wait, what? Wait a second. Wait, what? You can just say this. And other form fields is this. I am not getting. What? What is this third-party package thing that you're talking about? You cannot do it yourself, so what the fuck you're doing, man? Okay, I'm just gonna go to headers, and there are no headers right here. I do not say content type, right? It sends the content type by itself. If I send it, everything is undefined itself. Now I'm very confused on what is what, and I can understand why people shit on Nodejs like this. What the heck is a multer? Middleware for handling. Multer is a Nodejs middleware for handling multi-part form data, which is primarily used for it is written on top of Busy Boy for maximum efficiency. Multer will not process any form which is not multi-part. The question here is, what exactly do you do that we just cannot do it here? The Multer is a Node.js middleware for handling which primarily uses this. Multer will not process any form, blah blah blah. Multer has a body object and a oh, okay. The body object contains the values. That is why it didn't work. Because I am not having a middleware yet. Okay. Express Node.js, upload a file. Dude, what is this craziness that Express file upload? There are examples. Okay, it's a full-fledged repository it's also quite better maintained. Help us improve. The package is still very supported and maintained, but the more help the better. If you're interested, ticket and PR triage, feature scoping and implementation, maintenance, upgrading package fixing, security availability, please contact Richard Karkis at gmail.com. What I do want to understand is if you're uploading a file called this thing and your input field name is also file, you can access the server using files.foo. How do you do that? Multi-file is multiple files. I want a basic file. So you say file upload, okay, and this is this. So you always give it a certain middleware. I feel this is middleware. Can I ask a question? Okay, I cannot ask a question now. So objects.keys.file, name of file, sample, blah blah blah. Use the MV method too. Why can't I just simply upload a file? Process multi-part. Oh. Sorry, I'm very tired right now. It's already 1 o'clock. Hold on. I wonder. Hold on. Now here's the main thing to test. Express. It depends specifically on something called file upload. Then it depends on something called upload. Then it depends on something called forms. There's also multi-part. There's also files. There's busy boy. There's middleware. Wait, these are keywords. Okay, I'm kind of, okay, so it only depends on busy boy. Okay. And you cannot shit on these things forever, right? I have to first see and then start shitting. Not right away. I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm tired of this madness a little bit and I'm very sleepy. So what I suppose I'm going to do is I'm going to log off today, and tomorrow I'm going to try and make some sense of this and see that how exactly it is working. Yeah, if you have tuned in, thank you so much. Thanks for joining. If you like my stream, do consider sharing it with somebody who requests it, and do drop subscribe so that you can get notifications when I come live. I'm gonna continue this part. I was hoping to do it in 1 day, but it's gonna take a little while. Specifically, like I just do not want to chat GPT and do it, right? That's very simple and stupid. I actually want to dive a little bit deeper into how Node.js works and at least how I can use it as a framework, Node.js and Express, and to create APIs. Okay, so this is what I want to deep dive into a little bit. So this is again probably 2 or 3 streams I'll do on this till this is finished, depending on how I get time and when I get time. But I'll also consider creating videos on topics that I feel interesting and I feel that I have some information and I can share it. So yeah, do consider giving a subscribe, do consider checking out the channel if you like. Do drop a like and share it with somebody who might be interested in this kind of stuff. Okay. Thank you so much. Good night, and thank you so much for logging into the night. Thank you.